This $2 billion submarine just disappeared beneath the Pacific Ocean with 140 men sealed inside. No windows, no fresh air, no contact with the surface world for the next 6 months. Right now, they're using toilets that can literally explode if you flush wrong. The fresh vegetables ran out 10 weeks ago. They haven't seen sunlight since September. But beneath the surface, something extraordinary happens. The only holiday that exists underwater, where junior sailors get to throw pies at their commanding officers. This is life inside the USS Oklahoma City, and it all starts with one final sunset over Guam. On the deck of the USS Oklahoma City, 140 sailors watch the sky turn orange and pink, knowing this view has an expiration date. In exactly 12 minutes, this light becomes a memory. There's a ritual before diving, a ceremony of surrender. One by one, sailors line up to hand over their connection to the world above. 140 smartphones going into a lockbox that won't open until February. One last I love you text to a wife who won't hear from you for 180 days. One last photo of kids who'll look different when you surface. One last check of the Lakers score. Then, nothing. The 30-inch hatch seals with a metallic clang that every submariner knows by heart. It's the sound of voluntary burial. The sound of the outside world ceasing to exist. The ventilation system kicks in with its distinctive hum, a sound that will become so constant they won't notice it until they surface and the silence feels wrong. The fluorescent lights flicker on. They won't turn off again for 6 months. Day and night are about to become suggestions rather than facts. Time itself will be measured not by sun, but by watch rotations and meal schedules. Dive, dive, dive. The captain's voice echoes through narrow steel corridors. The USS Oklahoma City angles down at 20 degrees. Coffee cups slide. Unsecured items roll. New sailors grab whatever they can to steady themselves. This is the moment 140 men begin their descent, not just into the Pacific Ocean, but into an isolation so complete that no other military service can compare. The nuclear reactor hums to life. The boat levels out at 400 feet. The patrol has officially begun. Welcome to the silent service, where the first challenge isn't the enemy, it's surviving each other. Despite the isolation, one of the few comforts of the first few weeks of a patrol is the food. The Oklahoma City carries enough food for 90 days without resupply. That's 15,000 pounds of frozen meat, 1,200 pounds of coffee, and 800 dozen eggs all loaded through that same tiny hatch. The fresh produce, 400 pounds of lettuce, 300 pounds of tomatoes, 200 pounds of apples, is carefully stored in the coolest parts of the boat. The crew knows from experience they have maybe 2 weeks before the vegetables become memories. The submarine's galley is smaller than a food truck kitchen, just 10 feet by 14 feet, yet somehow feeds 140 men 4 meals a day: breakfast, lunch, dinner, and mid-rats or midnight rations for the night shift. Mid-rats is basically anything people didn't eat that day that gets reheated and served again before getting tossed. The cooks, or culinary specialists as they're called, are wizards of improvisation. They can turn dehydrated potato flakes into something that almost tastes like mashed potatoes using enough butter, garlic, and what they call submarine magic, which is really MSG. Except tonight's meal prep just got interrupted. The boat's alarm system erupts, not a drill this time. Rig for deep echoes through the galley. They're going down fast. Pots are sliding off of burners. Whatever's above them, the Oklahoma City doesn't want to be found. And while these sailors master the art of making military rations taste edible 400 feet underwater, you'll master commanding military vehicles in today's sponsor, War Thunder. Join a worldwide community of over 95 million players as you command over 2,500 tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships from 10 major nations, spanning from biplanes of the 1920s to modern fighter jets. Experience the same intense combat scenarios with incredibly detailed vehicles where every component matters, just like real warfare. Choose between 3 game modes: arcade for fast action, realistic for the perfect middle ground, or simulator for the ultimate challenge. The game features one of the most sophisticated damage models in gaming, with the X-ray feature allowing you to see exactly what your shells damaged, how you destroyed a vehicle, or what's damaged on yours. There's simply no better game suited for military history fans. And the best part, you can play War Thunder for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and now mobile. Check out War Thunder using my links below, including a link for mobile players to download. New and returning players who haven't played in 6 months get a massive bonus pack with exclusive vehicle decorator, Eagle of Valor, 100,000 Silver Lions, and 7 days of premium account for a limited time only. Now, back to the submarine's impossibly cramped galley. Packed into this impossibly small space are 2 convection ovens, 1 deep fryer, 2 massive boiler pots, a griddle, a microwave, and an industrial-sized mixer. The cooks, or culinary specialists as they're called, are wizards of improvisation working with equipment that would make any restaurant chef claustrophobic. Here's the reality. 6 cooks feed the entire crew in 18-hour rotations. Just 2 are actually cooking at any given time. 1 for the day shift, 1 for the night shift. They're producing 4 meals: breakfast, lunch, dinner, and mid-rats. The galley crew must prepare everything from basic daily meals to full formal 7-course dinners with good silver and waiters when dignitaries visit. All of this happens while the kitchen pitches and rolls with the submarine's movement. But here's what nobody tells you about submarine food storage. It's everywhere. Right now, there are cans of green beans under bunks in the torpedo room. Cases of tomato sauce line the hallways, forcing sailors to walk single file. Someone's mattress is currently resting on 48 cans of corn. The boat left port looking like a very dangerous grocery store. The enlisted crew eats in the mess decks, a space roughly the size of a small classroom with 5 tables that seat 24 men at a time, doubles as the crew's movie theater, game room, and social center. Sailors have exactly 15 minutes to eat before the next group needs the tables. It's cafeteria style. Grab your tray, load up, sit down, eat fast, and get out. The food is actually legendary. Submarines get the best ingredients and specially trained chefs because the Navy knows good food is essential for morale when you're stuck in a metal tube. But not everyone eats in the crew's mess. The officers dine in the wardroom or formal setting where junior enlisted serve them. The chief petty officers have their own mess, smaller than the enlisted mess but with cushioned booths instead of hard benches. It's called the goat locker by the rest of the crew, and few enlisted sailors ever see the inside, unless they're about to get chewed out. By week 2, menus get creative. Fresh salad becomes 3-bean salad from cans. Breakfast fruit transforms into a fruit cocktail from syrup-filled containers. The bread, at least, stays fresh. It's baked every night by a sailor who works while everyone else sleeps, filling the submarine with the one smell that temporarily masks the mixture of diesel, hydraulic fluid, and 140 guys who shower once a week if they're lucky. But all that good food has got to go somewhere, and where it ends up is unlike anything you can even imagine. By the time you've gotten used to the shower routine, the sub throws yet another curveball. It's now 3 weeks in, and the submarine's most dangerous equipment isn't the nuclear reactor or the torpedoes. It's the toilets. The USS Oklahoma City has exactly 3 toilets and 2 showers for 140 enlisted men. The math alone is terrifying, but the physics is worse. Here's what nobody tells you about submarine toilets. They can literally explode. The waste system uses pressurized air to blow sanitary tanks overboard. Use it wrong, open the wrong valve at the wrong time, and you've got a face full of everyone's business from the last 3 days. It's called blowing sanitaries, and every sailor has either experienced it or knows someone who has. This procedure is so complex that new sailors need supervised training before they're allowed to flush alone. Showers are not much better. You get 3 to 5 minutes, and that's not continuous. The submarine shower goes like this: 30 seconds of water to get wet, turn it off, soap up in the dark, and then 30 seconds to rinse. That's it. You're done. Some guys haven't showered in a week because when you smell like everyone else, what's the point? Officers and chiefs get their own heads, 1 shower each. If the boat has excess water supply, the executive officer might authorize Hollywood showers, continuous running water for up to 5 minutes. When this happens, it's like Christmas morning. Sailors actually line up an hour early. That's if they're even allowed to shower at all. 2 months in, and the captain just ordered silent running. For the next 48 hours, the submarine needs to be completely undetectable. This means 140 men living like church mice. No flushing toilets unless absolutely necessary. No showers at all. The laundry, 2 washing machines, and 2 dryers for the entire crew shut down completely. The galley serves only cold food because pots and pans make noise. No fresh bread baking. Even dropping a wrench could give away their position. The crew communicates in whispers and hand signals. They wear soft-soled shoes and move through the passages even more carefully than usual. The movie night in the crew's mess? Canceled. Card games? Only if you can shuffle silently. Some sailors just lie in their racks for hours, afraid to move and make the spring squeak. This is when the bathroom situation gets truly desperate. The toilets can't be flushed normally during silent running. Waste builds up in the sanitary tanks. By day 2, the smell is overwhelming. The ventilation system is running on minimum to reduce noise, so the air gets thick and stale. Carbon dioxide builds up, making everyone sluggish and irritable. The worst part? Nobody knows when it will end. It could be 2 days, it could be a week. The crew just endures, living in their own waste and sweat, breathing recycled air that tastes like metal, all while maintaining absolute silence. 1 toilet flush at the wrong moment could compromise the entire mission, or worse, give away their position to an enemy submarine. When silent running finally ends, the first sound is always the same: the beautiful, violent whoosh of the sanitary tanks being blown overboard, followed by every toilet and shower on the boat running simultaneously. For about an hour, the submarine sounds like the worst apartment building on a Saturday morning, but nobody complains. After 48 hours of enforced silence and held bodily functions, noise never sounded so good. But this feeling pales in comparison to what happens next. After another 45 days have passed, the USS Oklahoma City transforms into the world's strangest party venue. It's halfway night, the only official holiday in the submarine calendar. For 1 night only, the strict military hierarchy gets turned upside down, and junior officers are about to pay good money to hit their officers with pies. The celebration starts in the crew's mess with the best meal of the patrol: lobster tails and New York strip steaks. The cooks have been hiding these in the freezer for 3 months, protecting them like classified documents. Every sailor gets a full lobster tail. The officers serve the enlisted men, reversing roles in a tradition that goes back decades. The executive officer, who normally runs the ship with an iron fist, is currently wearing an apron and asking a 19-year-old seaman how he'd like his steak cooked. Then comes the auction. Whipped cream pies go to the highest bidder. $20, $30, sometimes $50 for the chance to pie a particularly strict department head. The money goes to the crew's recreation fund, but this isn't about the money. It's about Seaman Timmy, who got screamed at for a small mistake 6 weeks ago, getting to smash a pie directly into his division officer's face while everyone cheers. The officer takes it with a grin. Tonight, there's no rank. The halfway boxes finally get opened. 140 grown men become kids on Christmas morning. Someone's mom sent an entire bag of beef jerky. Another sailor got 50 handwritten notes labeled, Open when you're having a bad day. The married guys get photos of kids who look older than they remember. Someone's wife sent a pregnancy test with a positive sign. He's going to be a dad. The whole crew erupts in celebration. For tonight only, an enlisted sailor sits in the captain's chair in the control room. Another has won the auction to be captain for a day tomorrow. He'll make one ship-wide announcement of his choosing. Last patrol, someone mandated Hawaiian Shirt Friday. The real captain watches with amusement. He knows morale for the back half of the patrol depends on tonight going well. By midnight, the party's over. The pies are cleaned up, the boxes are emptied, and ranks return to normal. But something has shifted. They're on the downslope now. Every day from here on out is one day closer to home. 90 days down, 90 to go. But those 90 days waking up on the ship are quite different than waking up in your bed at home. At 0600, this sailor's alarm goes off, except it's not really his alarm, and it's not really his bed. In exactly 2 minutes, a fellow sailor will climb into these same sheets, still warm, still shaped by his body. He'll sleep here for 8 hours, then it'll be another man's turn. 3 men, 1 bed, 24 hours a day. Welcome to hot bunking. The berthing area looks like a morgue with bunk beds. Each rack is 6 feet long, 2 feet wide, and 18 inches high, smaller than a coffin, which is why submariners call them that. A thin curtain provides the only privacy 140 men have from each other. This is your personal space, less than 24 cubic feet to call your own for 6 months. The sailor getting up has exactly 90 seconds to roll up his sheets, each guy brings his own, and stuff them in his locker with everything else he owns, and clear out before the next guy shows up exhausted from his shift. There's an unspoken rule. You don't complain about the previous guy's smell, and he doesn't complain about yours. Everyone pretends the pillow doesn't feel damp. Nobody mentions that they can tell what the last guy ate for dinner. This is because personal hygiene becomes a joke by day 120. You're allowed 1 small bottle of deodorant in your gym bag-sized locker. But what's the point? The nearest shower is shared by 70 other guys, and you're lucky to use it twice a week. Laundry, you signed up for your slot 3 weeks ago. Each sailor gets 1 load every 2 weeks if the machines don't break. Most guys are rotating between 3 sets of uniforms, wearing each for days at a time. The submarine has a washing machine schedule more complex than flight operations, with different divisions assigned to different days. Miss your slot, and you're hand-washing your underwear in a sink that's also used for brushing teeth and shaving by 20 other guys. But all of this is worth it because this letter is waiting for them. In the radio room, the most important message of the month has just arrived. Not military orders, not intelligence updates, familygrams. 40 words from home that somehow have to capture everything that's happened in the last 30 days. The radio man prints them out like they're winning lottery tickets. The radio room becomes a gathering spot when familygrams arrive. Some sailors get 3 or 4, others get none. The single guys pretend they don't care, but everyone knows better. The married sailors share the funny ones, kids writing about the dog, wives describing failed cooking experiments. The familygrams are cruel in their brevity. Wives become poets of compression, trying to squeeze 3 months of life into a text message from 1975. They can't include bad news. The squadron censors it out. No deaths, no divorces, no disasters. One sailor's wife tried to tell him his father had passed away, but the message never made it through. He'll find out in 30 days when he surfaces. The radio man picks up the latest familygram. This one says, Sarah Johnson to Petty Officer Johnson. Baby said first word was Dada. I cried. Your mom is feeling better after surgery. Dog learned new trick. House floods fixed. Missing you every second. Love you to the moon. 36 days left. Sarah. That's it. 40 words including his name. He will read this message approximately 300 times over the next month. He'll analyze every word choice. Why did she say house floods, plural? Was there more than one house flood? Is his mom really better, or is Sarah protecting him from bad news? And his baby's first word? He missed it. His kid is talking now, and he's in a steel tube under the Pacific Ocean. What Sarah didn't mention, what she couldn't mention in 40 words, is that when his mom had complications after surgery, she had to make all the medical decisions alone. There's no calling the submarine for advice. There's no emergency leave from 600 feet underwater. Speaking of medical emergencies, there's also no doctor on board. Just an independent duty corpsman, essentially a highly trained medic who completed 63 weeks of specialized submarine medical training. He's responsible for everything from flu shots to emergency surgery. If someone needs their appendix out, it happens on the wardroom table, the same place officers eat their dinner. The IDC has to be part doctor, part dentist, part psychologist, and part radiation health officer, monitoring the crew's exposure from the nuclear reactor. Thankfully, the only ailment anyone is feeling right now is homesickness, which will soon be coming to an end in 30 more days. The USS Oklahoma City breaks through the Pacific Ocean surface at 0800, and for the first time in 180 days, natural light floods through the periscope. The officer of the deck takes the first look. His report is professional. Horizon clear, weather calm. What he doesn't report? He's trying not to cry at the sight of clouds. The hatch opens and the smell hits everyone simultaneously. Fresh air. After 6 months of recycled, filtered, chemically scrubbed air that always tastes slightly metallic, actual ocean air smells like the best thing ever invented. Sailors are actually getting dizzy from oxygen that hasn't been breathed by 139 other guys first. Up on the bridge, grown men are stumbling around like toddlers. 6 months without a horizon has destroyed everyone's inner ear. The submarine corpsmen warned them this would happen, but knowing and experiencing are different things. Half the crew is actively fighting not to throw up. Their bodies reject the concept of a world that doesn't rock at exactly 3.2 degrees. The sunlight hurts, really hurts. Everyone's squinting like moles, even with sunglasses. Their skin is translucent pale. Submariners call it boat pale, and will sunburn in about 12 minutes. Someone jokes they look like a vampire convention, but nobody laughs. They're too busy staring at the sky like they've never seen it before. Cell phones are returned. 140 men simultaneously power on their devices. They immediately overload as 6 months of texts, emails, photos, and missed calls flood in. Someone's a grandfather. 3 sailors are now divorced. The Lakers made the playoffs. There was an election. The world just kept spinning while they were gone. Don't forget to check out War Thunder. Play for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, or mobile using my links in the pinned comment and description. New and returning players who haven't played in 6 months on PC and console get a massive bonus pack with the exclusive Eagle of Valor Vehicle Decorator, 100,000 Silver Lions, and 7 days of premium account. It's available for a limited time only, so claim it now. Bye for now.